Talking with Topher, episode 30. If you are a first-time listener, remember to subscribe, hit the like buttons if you enjoy the videos, and as always, set the alarms so that you know when the new videos are uploaded. I always upload my videos on Thursday. That's my game day, so I try to always make that, and so far I have. So Thursday mornings, new video every week. If you're a returning subscriber, well, welcome back. Thank you. And I just want to say I appreciate everybody who subscribes, everybody who listens, comments, all that stuff. It's really nice to get messages, be able to answer back, and hopefully one day I can have more of audience interaction, and we could do some live questions. I'd like to get a whole bunch of stuff going on this podcast. And that brings me to my email. That's right. talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. I just want to use your positive or negative stories out there to show people that we're all struggling with something, or we've gotten through the struggle and now we're seeing the brighter side of things, because that's where I'm kind of at in life. Where I'm at is I've gone through the struggle, and now I'm repairing and relearning as much as I can every day. And that's just because, well, I spent so long in a negative place, right? I spent a long time drinking, staying cloudy, not being able to get stuff done, not being able to do things. I mean, I remember when I was drinking and I was trying to figure things out and help me and my wife get out of debt. It didn't work so well. But here I am, 4 years sober, and now things are turning around. It's interesting how everything makes more sense now. And it's not that it makes more sense, it's that I can actually pay attention with a clear mind. And that's the nice thing. And, and it's like the same with this podcast. This podcast is growing, and now I have condenser mics. So I don't know if you noticed on the last episode, everything was coming out on the left-hand side. Well, that's because I've never used a condenser mic before. So guess what I had to do? I had to learn all about condenser mics. I will tell you, I only absorbed what I needed, which was fixing the audio and making sure that you, the listener, get it in stereo this time. So I'll let everybody know right up front. If it doesn't work, please let me know. I'm working on it. I have to learn how to do all this stuff on my own. I do not have money for a producer. And so I'm learning all this on the fly, and it's very frustrating because the way that it looks online with people doing their podcasts, they've got producers or they've talked to a producer and they got help. So they're getting their podcast set up, they're getting help, and they may or may not have a producer. So online, everything, God. Sorry, my nose is itchy. So online, it looks so easy, right? You just plug shit in and you're done. No, it's never that easy. I don't know why I thought it was. When I first started doing this, it was that easy. It was literally record, edit, and then upload. But now there's extra steps. I gotta edit the audio. I gotta splice it into the video. Then I gotta edit those together. So this is a giant learning curve for me. So bear with me as this podcast changes. It's going to be a big learning curve for me. And as I learn more and get out of my comfort zone, because I've been in the same zone for 7 months now, and I've just been using a webcam and a USB mic and then editing that, and it's all put together for me, and now everything has to be done a little bit different. It has to be separated, then put back together, and then edited. So it's been very fun, but super frustrating as well. I mean, I really wanted to smash my keyboard yesterday. I'm trying to do a few things with the microphones, get them registered so that I can get software that would probably help me with my problem. But unfortunately, because I don't even really know what the problem. Now I know what the problem is, but at the time I didn't really understand why it was doing this. And so because of that, I got super frustrated. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to. So you uninstall, then you reinstall, then you restart, and you get the computer back on, and then it doesn't do it again, and you're just like, Jesus Christ. Then you're trying to go through things and find videos and people that have done it in the past, and then you think you found the answer, but you forgot to look at how old the video was. So I thought I figured this all out, and then I'm trying to do it on my computer, and then I realized that the friggin' video was for Windows 7. Well, guess what? I don't have Windows 7. I got Windows 10. So I had to find a video for Windows 10. Well, it's different because they changed where the stuff is. They changed the ease of access. They just changed shit from platform to platform. They just change it. They rearrange stuff. So it made it super frustrating. I got the editing for the audio figured out according to everything that I've learned over the last 3 days. Today being the biggest learning day. And I should have the audio all set. It should come out of both speakers. It should sound full. And it's just an extra step for me. But like I said, I'm now out of my comfort zone. I don't get to just record my podcast and do what I've always done. Now there's something new I need to do to it. And that's okay because this is what helps us grow. This is how we keep moving forward. This is what I keep talking about. If I had just said, I don't want to do it this way, and then my microphone would never change, my sound would never get better, and I would never be able to learn how to make a real podcast and then how to get guests on, and talking to those guests would have never been right. You can't use 2 USB microphones at the same time without specific software anyways. So the whole thing, growing and becoming more complex, is a really good thing. Because the more complex it gets, the more I have to think. The more I think, the more I grow. The more I grow, the better person I become. And you can do this with anything. This is what I love doing now. I really, really enjoy doing this. I love learning about it. I love getting involved with people. I mean, I'm just having so much fun with the podcast in general that I'm just so excited to see it grow. I'm excited to see people getting involved with it. And now I'm excited to actually figure out what everybody else is already doing. How are they? I still do not understand how you have 2 separate cameras that record. You're using 2 separate SD cards, and then you have to load those all into one thing, and then you're cutting and splicing and changing it, and it's just amazing to me. This whole thing is amazing. And my wife brought up a good point when I was talking about it, and she was like, yeah, well, this is why people go to school for this. And I was like, oh, that's a valid point. That's right. People go to school for this. They major in this, and then they become producers. And that's their job because that's what they love doing, is playing with all this equipment and producing said podcast and or TV shows or whatever have you. So my hat's off to you because this is not easy. It's very, very difficult, but it's a challenge I'm willing to take on. And like everything else, unfortunately, school's not. I'm not into school. I'm not going back to school. I'm gonna learn this on my own. I'm gonna figure it all out, and it's gonna make me a better person for figuring it out. And I'm gonna feel better because I figured it out all on my own. I put it all together, and it just may take some time, but that's what we have to do, And getting out of your comfort zone is so important. All of us, almost all of us, even when we get out of our comfort zone. And this is, especially for me. But I get out of my comfort zone and I'll start something new. So running, for example. I took up running, but now my run is gotten to the point where, I'm finishing it about the same amount of time, but I'm a little bored. This morning, when it was raining, I was not bored. I just ran my ass off so I didn't get soaked. But I'm getting a little bored of the run. So I got out of my comfort zone, right? And I started running. And now here I am 24 weeks later, and now I'm in a comfort zone again. So I have to change it again. Now, mind you, I'm still healing from the deviated septum surgery, so I'm still dealing with that. So these are just thoughts that I'm going through because I'm getting close to the end of my healing, which has been going really well. This is going to be a little nasty, but I would tell you it was so amazing to have happen. So I was in the shower where all the moisture's coming in. And that's where I spent a lot of time breathing in a lot of that moisture and just trying to help loosen everything up inside. And yesterday I blew the right nostril, and a chunk of like black, red, yellow, just this chunk the size of my pinky nail came out of my nose. And it was an amazing, amazing feeling of relief. And you could tell this thing was down in there or up in there, wherever it goes inside our heads. But it was all the way in there, and I sent it out. And then this morning, it happened again on the left side. Giant chunk came out. Like I said, when I say giant, it was the size of my pinky nail, but still pretty damn big to come out of your nose. I mean, I've had some really big boogers in my days, but this thing was like, and it was, I don't know about you, but I had to touch it. And it was like semi-hard, and I was like, wow, that is crazy. And now, do you hear that? That is both nostrils working at what I feel is pretty much 100%. I mean, I probably got a little bit of healing to do, but they do say 6 to 8 weeks and you're done. And here we are, 6 weeks and 3 days. So it felt amazing. And I feel so much better now. I think I'm almost done with this healing process. Of course, I'm still going to take it easy for the next week and a half because it's really not that much longer. But back to the running thing. Right now, I'm taking it easy on my running so that my nose can heal. And I've been noticing that every now and then I can actually use my nose while running. And I've noticed when I get to use my nose while running, I'm not as exerted. My wife says I still snore, which I'm hoping is just all the congestion I was having from all the scabs inside, which I believe are gone now. But when it worked, man, I was like, I could go further. So now that I'm waiting for the nose to heal, as soon as it's healed, I'm adding something new on, you know? It is itchy as hell though. God, it's itchy. And I'm going to add something new on, right? Because I'm in a comfort zone. I got comfortable with my running. So now it's time to get out of that. Just like I got comfortable with the podcast, and now I've taken myself out of the comfortability, and now I have to do more. I have to edit more. There's more involved. But I'm going to do it in little steps. You know, I'm not jumping from the condenser mics to the SD card cameras. I'm not just jumping in with this and going full on. One, that's super pricey, and I like to do things in small increments. One, because it's easier to swallow the final bill when it was over the course of 7 months, like I did for this. But if you do it all at once, it's great, yeah, because you have everything. But then you have to learn everything if you don't know what you're doing. And if you already know what you're doing and all you needed was the equipment, well, that's probably a better position to be in. But where I'm not that person, So I'm not going to jump into this. I like to do everything very tiny. All my progressions since I've gotten sober have been small progressions leading to a bigger end result, which is how I do everything. You guys have seen this since the beginning. This is what I do. I started in that corner of this room. Actually, no. When I first started recording in this room, I was in this corner. Then I moved over to that corner. Then we did the painting, and then we transformed the whole room. And I did it in less than my 3-month window. So I like to do things very small, but I never like to get comfortable anymore. I always wanted to be in my comfort zone when I was drinking. But now I hate being in the comfort zone. If things start feeling too comfortable, I've got to throw a couple rocks into the pond. I got to mix it up. I got to do something that changes not everything, but just enough to get me thinking again, to get the brain going. And that's, turning over to these condenser mics did that for the podcast. I'm not looking forward to the editing process as much as I once was, but I'm looking forward to hearing the final product come out properly and what I had to do in order to learn that is amazing. Because whether you're going to school for whatever you're doing or you're just watching YouTube videos, it doesn't matter. If you're learning, you're growing. And if you're growing, you're living. You're just living. And that's where we all need to be. So, and that's what I've been doing this week. I've been trying to figure out how to edit and get condenser mics to work and making sure that both of them are set up so that if I do have somebody either come to my house to have a conversation or if I have to bring my mics and stuff to somebody, at least when I get there, I know exactly how to set it up and I know exactly what to do in order to make it sound proper. It's just been a lot of work and it's been tough. It's been I was upset. I was upset 2 days ago when I realized that my last podcast was only playing on the left side of people's speakers. I was a little bummed out. I really was. And I was like, oh my God. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure this out. I think I got it down to where it needs to be for this one. So bear with me. It's a learning curve. This is a whole learning process. And that's why I keep doing this, to show everybody that this isn't as simple as what you're watching on YouTube. This isn't as simple as we think it is. I thought this was going to be fucking easy right from the get. I had a microphone, I had a camera, and I was like, I'm done. I didn't even know I needed a program in order to get the fuck video up onto the internet. I was just like, oh, you just record and send it. But yeah, I just thought this was going to be super easy from the get. I had a laptop and a microphone. I thought I was done. Then I found out I needed editing software to make a proper upload and to add a beginning and add an end. That's what it was. My first 3, I don't think I had a beginning and end. And then after or 1 and 2, maybe it was 1 and 2 didn't have a beginning or an end. And then episode 3 is when I wanted to put it in a beginning and an end. And then I found out I needed software to do that. So, this thing all starts somewhere, right? All of our shit starts somewhere. My running had to start with the shoes I had in the house and just the motivation to get the fuck out the door. So I did that. I got out the door, I went running, and here I am today, adding more stuff on. I'm going to make the run a little bit bigger. I figure if I can do 10 minutes, then why can't I do like closer to 12 minutes? And let's bump it up a couple minutes. And I like everything I do, I like to keep it in small increments. I don't like to have too much going on at once because it's overwhelming. So by doing everything in little bits, it makes it a lot easier to swallow when the time comes to getting the project done. And that's the way I set everything up. And that's what's been going on this week, just trying to figure this out. And let me tell you, it has been fun. It has been fun, frustrating, but fun. And I don't think anybody has a real good time with electronics, unless, of course, you're like super, super knowledgeable with electronics. But I will tell you, electronics are only good when they're working. That's it. They are such a pain in the ass when you have issues or you have different formats, and now everything is built this way for Mac, it's built this way for Windows, then you get this for Linux, and it's just, so you have to make sure you get all your shit that you need for your specific setup, and then it doesn't work. So then you're troubleshooting that stuff. Oh my God, what a nightmare. But dig in and keep going because you can figure it out. But like I said, keep it small. Keep it small. And if you're starting something new, you don't need much to start something new. I just, like I said, USB mic with the webcam on the laptop. Bam, we're doing YouTube. Running. Literally, motivation to get out the door and the shoes that I already had. Going, I'm running. Now I've got running shoes. We finally got a treadmill for the inside for winter. And as soon as this nose is 100%, I'm going to friggin' add on to my run outside, which won't be happening until probably after the winter. And that's okay. Time to get ready for it. I'm going to go extra hard on the treadmill if I have to run on the treadmill. So it's just all these things that I like to do in very small increments. It keeps it manageable for me. However you find it to be manageable, you do it your way. But what I'm saying is you need to get it started. You need to do it. Stop sitting on your hands. Stop letting everybody tell you that you can't do it. That is never going to help you. It's never going to help you. The only thing that's going to help you is you find out it's not for you. But you got to go try it first. Can't just say it's not for you. Winter's on its way, and you know what that means, right? You got dry skin, you've got flu, and now we have COVID on top of it. So it's going to be an interesting, wild winter. But that's why you need to go to naturalbossnh.com. That's naturalbossnh.com. And you need to check out their products. Why? Because they have hand sanitizer. What's hand sanitizer good for? Well, everything today. So I use this stuff religiously. It's in my car. I get out of the store, I go into my car, I wash my hands with my Natural Boss hand sanitizer, and then I'm good to drive. It doesn't leave my hands sticky. I don't feel like I just put chemicals all over my body because everything that Natural Boss makes is from natural organic products. So it's just an amazing, amazing hand sanitizer that I use all the time, every day. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I feel like I need to wash my hands and I'm not anywhere near a sink, the hand sanitizer is the next best thing. They've also come out with a brand new salve. This stuff is awesome. And the reason I love it so much is because it smells good. Not only does it smell good, but it feels good. That's right. It's moisturizing my skin, getting rid of the dry skin feel and re-moisturizing it so that I don't get all those like sharp pins and needles when you walk outside into the cold air with the dry skin. And it's just amazing. And they're coming out with new products soon, which is going to be a lip balm, a foot scrub, and a beard oil. So the company's growing, it's getting bigger, they're making more products, and that's because they're so good. So go to naturalbossnh.com, that's naturalbossnh.com, and get your salve or your hand sanitizer, or both, today. New Hampshire Vape Gallery, located in between Home Depot and Smoke Rings on 180 Lafayette Road. We're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. You can come in our store provided you wear a mask, and as always, bring your ID because we are 21 plus now. You can give us a call, 603-814-4171. This vape shop, I'm telling you, we have it all. If you're looking for disposables, we've got you covered. I love these things. They're great for doing any type of job outside where I get worried that I'm going to break my device. If you are sick of your big box mods, well, check it out. We have now got pod mods. These things are awesome. They got full digital displays. You can adjust the wattage on them. The vapor production is amazing. So if you are looking for updates for your devices, you're looking for new devices, your first time getting into vaping, that's what we're here for. I love to help people get off of cigarettes. I really enjoy getting them over to the vaping side, and then if they choose to, walking them off of nicotine so that they can actually get free of this vice. So again, this is New Hampshire Vape Gallery, located in between Home Depot and Smoke Rings on 180 Lafayette Road. You can give us a call, 603-814-4171. We are open 10:30 to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. You can come in our store, provided you wear a mask, and remember your ID because we are 21 plus now. I really look forward to seeing you there, and now back to the show. Let's see here. I've got a quick story. I didn't really prepare anything this week. I did spend a lot of time trying to figure out these condenser mics. So I just had a few tidbits of advice, and now it's story time. So let's do it. Boop boop doo. Story time. Brrr. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make noises. I want to add stuff in. I feel like I'm left out. I don't have any things to airdrop. I got to figure this out. I'm trying to make a show here, and it's not working because I've never made a show before, so I don't know how long it's going to take before this thing actually has structure. But here we go. This is about when I was 13, 14. So that means this would be 94, 93. Let's see. I was just getting into stealing shit. I was getting into like stealing cigarettes and sunglasses and silly things like that because my friends that I was hanging out with wanted cigarettes and nobody else had the balls to go and steal shit. So I would do it, and then I could fit in. So that's the way life works, I guess. If you want to fit in, sometimes you got to do what you don't want to be doing, but you're also doing what nobody else is going to do because they don't want to get in trouble. I don't know. And this is I had tried alcohol at this point, but I wasn't like a heavy drinker. Obviously, I was only like 13, 14. Started drinking around 12, so I was just stealing beers from Dad and nothing crazy going on. So the brain was still working the way it was supposed to. But I was like, I want to fit in. And so I got together with a couple of my friends, and we're all going to go for a bike ride. And we're going to go to the easy spot, which was, actually, no, I apologize. We started off going to the East Derry store, I believe. And then we all decided to go to Shaw's. Now, Shaw's is a lot more of a hike from East Derry into Derry. You got to go down some busy roads. And that's where this gets dicey. So, me, two of my friends, and my sister. All right. Now, my sister is 2 years younger than I am. So, we're all riding our bikes. The ride starts off real quiet. We go from the neighborhood, jump the main street, go into a back neighborhood, ride that out for a little while, and then you end up coming out on a road, and I think it allowed us to go onto the dirt road. It was like a dirt road we could go down, and you would follow this dirt road forever, and that one would lead you to the East Derry store. And as you're going down the dirt road, obviously another road shows up. I wish I could remember. Like I said, this is 93, 94. I'm not going to remember road names. I can barely remember my age. But I remember the everything that happened. And so we're now deciding to go to Shaw's because East Derry store was too busy. So we figured let's just go to Shaw's. I said it would be a better spot. It should be easier because I would do it, with my parents shopping and cigarettes being right there. You could just grab them. So I was like, all right, I can do this. I can just go into Shaw's and grab shit and leave. So we're going down to Shaw's. We have now gone past East Derry store. We're out on the main street. And as we're going down the main street, at some point, my sister... Shit, I gotta check that. We'll be right back after these messages. And we're back. That was fun. I love getting interrupted with shit going on that I have no control over. Yeah, super fun. So anyways, right, we're going down the main road. We've decided to go to Shaw's because I feel like it's going to be an easier target to hit. Target. And so now we're going down the main road. There's a steep hill. We're cruising down this thing, and I look back, and it's me, one of my friends, my other friend's out of sight, and my sister is nowhere to be found. And I'm like, what is going on? And now we're at the bottom of this hill, right? So I stop at the bottom of the hill. We look up. Another guy coming in. Cool. Third one coming down. And behind him is nobody. And he comes down the hill. And he's like, dude, your sister just wiped out. She almost got hit by a car. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, don't worry. Somebody stopped and just picked her up. And I'm like, what? And so now we're standing there, right? The three of us, we're all talking about this. And this white car pulls up. And my sister's bike is in the trunk. My sister is in the back seat. And this person is talking to all three of us. And they're asking questions like where I live and all this other stuff. And me, being me, I was like, well, are you driving her home? And the guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna drive her home. And just tell me where you live and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay. And I give him all the information, right? Now my parents are not home. They're not home. I'm a latchkey kid. So I had the keys. I gave them to my sister. Right? Give the keys to my sister. Somebody who I don't know is driving her to my parents' house. And now me and my friends are going to steal. Well, I'm going to go steal from Shaw's. This is just something that a million people have told a million other people to never do. Never. My sister, when she fell, I should have been sticking with her for sure. Now that I think about it, I should have been sticking with her, making sure she was okay, even though she was slowing us all down. I should have still been the responsible older sibling and been by her side, made it easier for her, right? Didn't do that. I'm an asshole. I just let her do her own thing. She fell, almost got hit by a car. Now this person's got her in the car. And I'm just like, here's my house keys. Take my sister home because I don't want to deal with this right now. I want to get to Shaw's and I want to steal cigarettes. So they take my sister home. I go to the store with my friends. We do what we need to do. I steal a bunch of cigarettes, get a whole bunch of shit, get back on the bike, and now we're going home, right? And I get home. My sister's there. Her bike's there. The person's gone. So this story couldn't have a better ending. But I will tell you right now, thinking about this and kind of reflecting on it, I was like, Jesus Christ, this could have been one of the worst things that could have happened in my life. One, she could have fallen and gotten hit by that car, which on that road, I think the speed limit's like 35, so you know everybody's doing a minimum of 50. So that could have gone horribly wrong. Or I just gave this person the keys to my parents' house, and now they have my sister. One, what's to stop them from now taking my sister to wherever they want to go, and then tying her up, and then they've now got a captured kid while I'm fucking riding around Shaw's stealing shit. And then they go to my parents' house and clean it out. So by the time I got home, it must have been almost 3 hours later. You got to figure the bike ride takes a long time. You know, I figure, I'm trying to remember. I think it was almost 20-something minutes to get from the house to Shaw's in a car. So you usually double that. So you're talking by the time I get down there and get back, it's been at least 2.5 hours maybe that I've been completely gone and just not even thinking if this person has done any of this stuff. These are not thoughts I had until like 2 days ago when I actually started remembering the story. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, I could have come back to an empty house. I could have come back to no sister and an empty house. I could have come back to all kinds of terrible things. Terrible, terrible things could have happened to my sister and my parents' house, and I didn't give a shit. I didn't even care. I was too busy worrying about how much I wanted to impress my friends and be the cool guy. Because for some reason, we're all stuck on this thing about being the cool person or being in with the in crowd. I will tell you right now, the in crowd in your 40s is non-existent. It is whatever you think is in, that's in. There's no one. Well, that's false. Everybody gets a chance to judge me because I put my stuff up on social media. I put my podcast out there. So everybody gets a chance to dig in if they want to. But I don't even know if that's a good comparison, I'll be honest. I'm kind of going off on a limb here. But being in or being cool is not what we all make it out to be. Now, did I always want to be that person? Absolutely. I just told you a story about how my sister got killed and almost abducted, and I literally hand the guy the keys to do all of this because I wanted to smoke cigarettes and maybe steal some alcohol, whatever the hell I was doing. And that's because I wanted to be cool. I wanted to be in because I was the person that wasn't cool. I came from Massachusetts. My clothing style that my parents had me dressed in was well, even when I look back on it now, I'm like, what were you doing? What were you thinking? But that's what was in, and that's what my mom liked. So I got dressed the way my mom liked to see me. So you got knee-high socks, you got overalls. I mean, fucking overalls? Even though I wore them in my teens because I thought they were cool again, I don't know, man. I can't get into them. But being popular or being on the in crowd or being cool is something that we all strive to do. We all want to be there, but I have realized now that I'm old that it didn't matter. None of it mattered. There was nothing. What I was doing was not going to change anything about me because I still was being dressed by my parents. Like, they would bring you to a store, but they can only afford what they can afford. So if I still couldn't buy the cool shit, well, you know what I mean? So I'm like trying to figure out how to fit in and do these things. And that's what everybody's doing when they're in school and they're trying to figure these things out. But as an adult, I can tell you that it's a waste of time. There's no reason to be doing it whatsoever. Those kids that you think are cool now may not, one, be cool when you graduate. Because I've seen that 1,000 times where people would graduate and I've talked to people and I'm like, whatever happened to this guy? He was like the king and he was this and he was the best. And I find out that he got hurt because of his sports, then he got in drug, then he died. And I'm like, well, what about this guy? This guy was fucking the shit. He was cool. Nope, drugs and overdosed. Got heavy into drugs, overdose. I'm like, so even though in the moment I wanted to be the cool guy and I wanted to be the one that stole stuff from a store, gave it to my friends, and I was like, I'll be even the cool big brother, and I'll let my sister come with us, it was so stupid in hindsight. And it all could have went way worse than it was. Now, I do believe my parents ended up finding out, because I believe the person that brought my sister home got in contact with my parents. It was a whole thing. I mean, I always got in trouble anyway, so I probably got in trouble for this. But I was trying to prove, and I was trying to prove something and be somebody I was not. And you can't do that. You have to be who you are. And when people accept you for who you are, well, then those people truly accept you. So, you know, doing these things and being that asshole, you know, really kind of put me and my sister in a bad place. It put me and my parents in a bad spot again. You know, like I didn't do it enough up to this point. And now it's just getting worse because now I'm involving my sister in it. And so my parents weren't happy. The only people that were happy were my friends because they got the cigarettes, they got the shit, and then they got to go home. Because, see, the only people there that were along for the ride was them. They didn't have to steal. They didn't have to deal with mom and dad. They didn't have to deal with the sister. They didn't have to deal with any of that. It was, they were worried when she fell, but they weren't worried when she was in the car being taken away, which is probably why I wasn't worried, because I was like, I got to follow their lead. But it was all for nothing. It was all because I felt a specific way about myself. And this is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm talking about. All these silly things that we do to make ourselves feel cool, be in the group, is just, I mean, all of those people that I used to try and impress and be part of the group, I don't talk to a single one of them anymore. There is nobody from when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we'll bring that back. About 15 years of age. So from 12 to 15, there's nobody that I talk to anymore. And that's what I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you that even though you want to do these things and you're feeling left out, it's all for nothing. Because when you're my age, you're going to reflect on these things and realize how kind of silly it was. Now, is this the way it goes for everybody? No, it's not. I have to understand that too, right? You got to see the side. You got to see all the sides. Some people do these things and it works out really well for them. They become the in person. They're the cool person. And that's great. I'm pretty sure the minuscule amount of people that chose the path that I chose and made it out on the other side unscathed, I'm sure it's like 1%. Because if you are on any type of a path like I am, you are going to fall. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to be caught. It is inevitable that these things will eventually happen. Everything catches up to you. All right. Like I said, I couldn't lie anymore because lies were too hard to keep up with. Well, so is stealing. Stealing will catch up with you because you go from little things that like you're grabbing off the shelf real quick to bigger things that you have to kind of wear different clothing for. Then you get into secured items, and then it's a challenge to get the security out of it so you can try to get it out of the store. And everything progresses. Everything progresses over time. So, this is not one of my best stories. It's not. But it just could have turned out so much worse. And in today's day and age, I don't even think something like this could happen. Because like I said, I was a latchkey kid. I had access to the house when my parents weren't there. I had the key. I was in charge of my sister. And, this is what I'm doing. I'm bringing her to a store so that I can steal to look cool in front of my friends. So, not cool. It's just not cool. And if you're listening to this, I hope you think that it's not cool, because it's not. It wasn't good. And I'm just really glad that my sister didn't get hurt. I'm really glad that person did not abduct her. And I'm really happy that they didn't empty out my parents' house while I was gone. Because even when I returned, who's going to stop them? Me and two other 13-year-olds? I don't think that's going to go very well. And that's what I was doing. That's what I was doing when I was 13. That's one of the things I was doing when I was 13, 14. So, there's all kinds of stuff that I am learning from today while reflecting on my past. And there's also a lot of stuff that, I don't remember. So those are interesting stories to find out, too, because I didn't know about it. I forgot about it because I was too fucking hammered to figure it out or remember it. And I've been told the stories, but then I get retold the stories, now. And when I get retold the story, boy, it is not anything like I remember it. So, but on that note, this episode is coming to a completion. And I'm just really very, I'm just so happy. Like I said, sound's getting better, camera's getting better, monkey moved. So we're just having a grand old time in here. It's going to keep getting better. The more I do this, the better it's going to get, because if there's one thing that I'm very good at, it's moving forward, getting better at what I am doing, and I hope everybody out there enjoys the progression with me. Remember to subscribe, hit the likes if you enjoy the videos, and set the alarms if you want to know when all the new episodes upload, even though I just told you it uploads on Thursday. Talkingwithtopher at gmail.com. Hit me up. Send me your positive stories, negative stories, any story you want. Any story you want. I'm getting this segment off the ground, but I need a little bit more than just one to choose from. But we're getting there. We're getting it started. So talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. And don't forget, you can follow me on all social media. That's right, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter. So go to all of them. Follow me on all of them. Hit me up on all of them. Whatever you want to do, I am there. And as always, I just want to thank you. Hope everybody has a great rest of their week. And if you're going out trick-or-treating, be safe. Happy Halloween. And I'll talk to you later.